Alright guys and gals, and friends and fans of Bob's Barn Workshop, we are back in the new barn edition. Of course, we made it back from Power Tour a couple weeks ago, not without a couple of incidents. The hydraulic clutch ended up having a bad O-ring on the fitting going into the clutch slave cylinder, which is inside the bell housing, which means you have to remove the transmission to service it. But we found a young team of young men in Simmonsville, Kentucky. Simpsonville, just east of Louisville. And they helped us out, a couple of Gulf War vets. They drilled a hole in the bottom of the bell housing, got up in and was able to tighten the fitting. They decided that the fitting was leaking. They took it apart, found the bad O-ring. So other than the clutch acting up, it really acted well. We ran into some big rainstorms. The roof leaked in the front because right along the gap of the windshield and the roof, it's like a crack, and it leaked right in on our laps. So that was fun. The engine has developed kind of a loud click in the driver's side near the rear of the engine. I think it's a bad lifter. And it leaks like the Valdez. So anyway, we made it home safe, only used 4 quarts of oil the whole 2,000 miles, so that wasn't too bad. So I think I'm going to need to try to pull the transmission, which is pretty easy with a standard. It's just the shifter, the backup wiring, the again, the shift lever, and 4 bolts holding it onto the bell housing. I want to be able to pull the bell housing out and try to find that oil leak. It's coming right down the back front of the bell housing. But what have I got here today? It's a new tool to do that. And what tool is that? It's a hydraulic transmission lift jack. So we're going to cut this baby open. Now this came from VEVOR, or VEVOR, however you want to say it. But I've heard a lot of good things from a lot of different people that have bought tools from them. My wife says it's my Father's Day present. And with it on sale, it was only $135 plus shipping. And it looks to be a very, very nice unit. It's really, really heavy. I strained my guts trying to pick this thing up. I actually kind of had to roll it up on top of the trailer, the tractor, lawn trailer to get it in here. So I'm going to set this baby up, this camera, and we'll try to put this thing together. So I'm going to kind of set you up at a wide angle here and see exactly what we need to do. I don't know if it's probably going to be metric, most of the tooling. So I'm going to get my metric set. Well, here's the picture of the unit when it's assembled. So basically it's a hydraulic cylinder with legs put on it. So here's the box that's falling apart. Here that looks like the casters. Two of which are locking. A bag of O-rings. Safety chains. A bunch of nuts and bolts in there. Plastic bag in there. There's no real assembly instructions here other than the picture, so I guess I'm smart enough to figure that out. You got to take the cylinder out and find the 2 legs, which I believe these are the legs. There's the legs. There's like sand in the bottom of the bag. I don't know what that's all about. There's this. which is a swivel. Well, that's the pedal, duh. That's the pumper pedal. Pump it up. Yeah. You. Let's see what else we got in here. There's a great big, huge Allen bolt. This is the top adjustable plate. It goes on top of the piston. So that is going to go over here for now. That'll be like the last thing that goes on. This is the wheel that you just used. You put this on the top of the cylinder that helps you to steer it around into position. And the big J. Okay, so it looks like you take, I'm gonna just start this, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're gonna scoot the box out of the way here. So I can see right now there's 4 big bolts that go into this. And there they are. And I don't know, are there washers that go on those?
I'm gonna go to the store.
Okay.
Are you done with the garage out front?
Yep.
Okay.
The boss is yelling at me. 4 and 5, spring washers and the bolts. Okay, so I've got to find a great big Allen key for this. I'm going to dump out the parts right here so I can see what I got. I think probably there's a washer that goes under these. So this looks pretty simple. She goes on just like, oh, look at the metal beads coming out of it. I don't know if that's from the drilling or the blasting or what that's from. So, and I'm thinking probably one of these washers goes on there too. Boy, that's crusty. Alright, I gotta go find an Allen wrench for this. I'll be right back. So I've made myself an Allen wrench. I found the head of a bolt that fits down in the hex of this big Allen screw. Pretty straight. So that I can turn it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do first though. I think that's just like a 7/16 head. You're going to take that same bolt. We're going to try to just drive it like this. I got the bolt in the now if I take the channel locks, all right, that worked pretty cool. Now we just got a flipper. Flipper, faster than lightning. I remember calling up one of the pretty girls in my neighborhood that everybody was in love with and wanted to talk to her on the phone. And she talked to me for a few minutes and said, well, flipper's on, I gotta go. Man, that was a put down. Oh well. I ended up with the best woman in the world anyway, so I got nothing to complain about. God bless her. Well, that wasn't in the hole. What the heck? What kind of show is this? What a bunch of malarkey. Malarkey, that's shit. There's some high quality Japanese or Chinese engineering, yeah. She ain't gonna go. Alright, well I'm just down to the end here anyway. I'll just do my vice grip thing here. And when you're buying vice grips, buy real vice grips. So I made my fake Allen wrench here. I was gonna use just vice grips to turn the screw, and then I got thinking about, maybe I can do it this way. Yeah. I don't know what size that is, it's just big. Now, with the casters on, get you in view here. I mean, there's really not a lot to this. Washer, lock nut, and nut. Let me check that size. I'm trying to decide when, yeah, I think I'm going to put the lockers on this side. So good, I got one locker there. That'd be 3/4, but hopefully this impact will make it tighten. There we go. So we're going to put the swivel one on the front. So I'm calling this the rear because this is where the pedal is. just gonna spin her around. I like the way they give you new O-rings. I guess they're for repair. I don't know what I would need an O-ring for right now. Oops, don't want that one on there. This one over here. I'm not going to pull the transmission today, although I could. And as I said, it's not that difficult. I got to find that oil leak. That's like my #1 goal right now, is to find that oil leak. Alrighty. Let's stand the beast up. There you go. Let's work our way from the bottom up. I'm guessing that's the valve. Yep. Now somehow I got to get that in there, because that's going to come flying out and hit me in the face. That spring. Because that pedal, I can see it right now. That pedal's got to go through this hole right down into that pin. And that's the spring return. I guess it's not under any pressure. I got to get a screwdriver. I got to get my snap ring kit. Hold on. Alright, we'll get rid of this tie wrap. Now, let's see. I gotta take this E-clip off because I need the pin to go out that way. Alright, I'm going to keep that right in the pliers. Now, I need a punch. I figured that was going to happen. Do I want to grease this up? Okay, somehow, I got to clamp this guy down. How hard is he? Oh yeah, he's real hard. What the hell? Maybe a C-clamp? I don't know that I got a C-clamp that thing. A pumpy clamp. It's funny they don't really give you any recommended way to compress this spring. Only your own ingenuity, I guess, so we shall use ingenuity. See if I can get it with this. To pull it down far enough. I don't even know if that brings it down far enough to fit the pedal on. Yep. Ingeniosity, guys, ingeniosity. I'm going to throw some grease on these rollers. I'm going to try to get grease in there without getting my fingers in there, of course. Just keep this stuff from seizing up, getting goofy on me. All right, that guy's all greasy. I'm gonna take this other snap ring out of here and on the roller here and grease that up. Keep your fingers on these snap rings, because if they come off when they're sprung, they'll fly across the room. Okay, so that guy's done. Put a little bit of goop here in the pedal area, the pivot for the pedal. It'll spread itself around anyway. I just want a touch in there. All right. Alrighty then. Now we gotta get this guy in there before this son of a gun flies into outer space. All right, time to release the roller. That needs some grease right in there too. This is grease, is from pre-flood. If anybody knows what the flood was. Flood of 72 in the Corning area. We had a lot of water back then. June 23rd, 1972. The day that will live in infamy. That's in the minds of a lot of people. Let's see. Goose that up a little bit. Oh yeah. Now we're talking, baby. Is there no oil in it? Oh, there it goes. All right. What else is there? There ain't a whole lot left. It ain't a complex device. I need my wheel is the next thing. All right. All right. So now we just gotta start tightening these clamps up. $13? I'm guessing 13. That's a 13, but the other one's like a 15. Because there's a 14. Oh, the 14 fits, okay. Let me go find a 14 and I'll put this ratchet on. And I got a 14 right over here. And 14. I'm just taking my time, choosing my line. Care if I say some of this. Don't want to get up. Really nice. Looks like my stuff, but I don't wanna get old. That's not right either. Is that a 12? No. Hey, these might be English. Let's see. See if that half-inch fits on there better. No, half-inch don't fit. I think 9/16. I don't know, maybe 9/16 will fit. That's a little sloppy too. Oh, I was looking, oh, idiot. Is this half-inch? That says 7/16. There's half-inch. See, that's not right either. 12? No, that's 13. There's 12. Yeah, it's 12. Get the right wrench, you'd be much better off. That other one's pretty tight already, so I'm going to work on these two. She's getting pretty tight anyway. I don't think she's going anywhere. Ow, that's sharp. Well, I'm not going to do any tighter than that. Boy, I gotta grind these off though. There's some sharp points right here. Good knuckle busters. You know, they're cheaply made. They bang them off in China. What can I say? Chinesium. All right, what looks like it needs to go next? This is the tilt mechanism, so you can tilt it. So that looks like another 12. Oh, that was a 13, of course. Yeah. Let's grease this one up. I'll grease this thread up too. I'm just going to smear some grease in these threads, and then we'll run the thing into the threads as far as it can go, and that will spread the grease. How am I going to do this? There's a nut way up in there that I got to get a hold of. Man, that's crude. Now I'm just going to keep. I gotta get some rags and get the grease off my fingers now. Oh, I want to put some underneath that. Grease won't leak, won't rust. So, there we go. Grease that shoe up good. Put a couple of X's down here. All right. Look at that, slicker and snot on a hoe handle. Oh, that's nice. All right. Now, I gotta go find another. I've got some 1/8 inch cotter pins around here. Welcome back, Cotter. Cotter pin, where do you go now? All right. Everything is now greased and lubed and ready to rocky gold. All right. I'm going to clean these handles off with some solvent so it's not all slick when you go to grab it when you're working on this thing. I think the next thing to do is put her up on the stand up here. Put that 12. That's a 14, that's way too big. 13, I think that's too big too. Yep, it's that 12 again. These are soft bolts, crappy bolts. I'm not going to tighten the crap out of that. All right. So now, we can get our transmission. We can tilt it. We can slide it. Now there's one Mustang to go here. Now you can put this through sideways like this too. So I think these things just go on top like that. You know, basically position this thing any way you want to. Where do those eyeballs go? Looks like the eyeballs. Sorry, you probably missed like 2 hours of that. We're just freaking with the chains here. And this thing is meant to be very flexible, so you can move it around depending on the transmission you're trying to get in and out. I'm guessing these are just that way, so you got like a knob to tighten it with. I'm not sure this thing is assembled right. I would think, okay. We'll figure it out. I'm not sure which way, if the transmission lays this way, they go across, don't they? So, I think this guy goes over here. And that just keeps your transmission in place. There we go. We'll just hang these guys like this because they look cool hanging like that. There you go. That's it. I can lift the trans if I have to. I also have a whole shitload of O-rings, which I assume is a maintenance kit. Put my extra bolt in there. There you go. Nice new tool for this shop. I mean, whenever you gotta lift anything, when you gotta lift a gas tank or something, this will come in super handy. I can put a couple of blocks of wood on it to put underneath a gas tank, or you know, a couple blocks of wood to help lift up a muffler or a exhaust pipe, anything like that. Anytime you gotta hold something up under the car. I can use it as a safety jack. When I'm working on the front of the car, I can put it under the rear end of the car to keep it from getting wonky when you're cranking on it. So, got to use my new snap ring player set that I've had a couple of years that I have now got the use out of. Let's clean this up and let's see what we can do with it. My friend says I need more cats in my videos. There's Teddy. For a 22-pounder, he's actually a really good hunter. Catches chipmunks all the time. Well, I didn't show it all, but what I did is on the way home we had to get gas, and we stopped and all they had was 87 non-ethanol. So we made the last 100 miles and with the 87 non-ethanol, but we were just cruising. So today I siphoned out what I could out of the tank, and then I got smart and I disconnected the fuel line from the filter under the hood and ran the fuel line down and turned on the electric fuel pump and pumped her dry. So now I'm going to go buy some 90 ethanol free. We got to run at least 90 in this car. And that's what we'll do. Oh, there's a stink bug in there. What are you doing in there, big guy? All right, well, I was looking for the kitten a second ago. I don't know where she got off to. Mama's little girl. She's supposed to be my cat, but she bonded to Mama. I'll just circle the barn here once. I do have to do a little digging right here on this corner because it's kind of high. So I need to dig like a swale around here to so the water will divert this way. I do have I could put a perforated pipe in here and gravel and make sure that any water that lays next to here goes out, because there's a pipe underground that we dug last fall that goes down through here and out towards the farmer's field. Now, unfortunately, it's gotten silted back in. I gotta find that kitten.